This is my question. Thank you.
All right, Honorable Skazwe.
Thank you, Chair. Appendix 5, failure to collect revenue. You had a target of 103,000 kwacha, and you only managed to collect 1,900 kwacha. Yeah, so on Appendix 3, shows that some of the revenue remained uncollected for more than 8 years. We didn't collect this money for more than 8 years. Maybe why were these measures not implemented before the audit? And Chair, how much do you collect per month? And also your wage bill as well.
Okay, Honorable Chala.
I think appendix, you can marry to also another appendix 33 in the same question. I want to find out on the non-maintenance of properties. Here you submitted that it's due to limited resources. I want to find out whether you have now expanded the resources, because you are saying you will do this in 2026, and in the same vein, or repair of the vehicle which was broken down. I want to find out as well the cost of repair as at now, because at that time you had no money. How are you going to, thought of reducing the high cost of repair, which was high cost at that time, but 2026 you have reduced, I don't know. So I want you to respond to that.
Are those 4 questions?
On the issue of failure to collect revenue, where we only managed to collect 1,900, the tenants in question largely are government departments. Was the arrangement in Milenge is that these offices, there used to be former civic center. Now after our new civic center was constructed, so government departments like the district commissioner's office, then immigration, of course, the office, and the others are the ones that are occupying these premises. So in terms of compliance levels, I think you only have one department that is complying. So Chair, these are the ones that are
Which one is?
The Office of the President.
Okay, if
Yes.
the Office of the President is complying, the rest are not, why don't you evict them? See, yes, eviction.
It's an issue, Chair, which we intend to pursue through our line ministry, that is through our PS. Because we've tried to issue the demand notices through the provincial offices, but the response has been almost nil.
Amounting to 0.
Yes.
You may proceed to answer other questions.
Then
From Honorable Kangombe.
yes.
On unspent funds.
In terms of how much time it takes to spend the funds, it all depends on the nature of the procurement. If it's a procurement that requires probably bidding, I think the procedures are different. But there are these that requires, I think, floating the advert for about. Then, of course, we do the evaluation, contracts clearing, and so forth. So I wouldn't be able to determine the exact time. But the issue that is being referred to are those funds that belongs to the devolved sectors, that is, and the archives. We didn't have the personnel to administer those funds. I think these are the ones that are being referred to.
So, but CS, what stops you from starting the procurement process before you receive the money? just like the way you do with CDF. You approve projects, then you even start procuring the contractors. Immediately the money comes, you disburse the money. Maybe there is the law that stops you from starting the process before you receive the fund. Honorable Kangombe.
Thank you, Chair. So, Chair, we are dealing with this matter to avoid another query, because it's not the last time CS you are receiving this money. Meaning there will be monies maybe for 2025, there will be monies for 2026. I'm assuming you are still the CS for the institution. So we are avoiding this query reappearing.
Yes.
So how do we avoid the query from reappearing? We do things different,
yes.
Okay?
Yes.
If the money hits your account in October, you must be able to spend it before the year ends, so that when the auditors come, the auditors should be able to find the money has been spent or the process has already started. Yes. So that is why we are interested. So we want to understand. The auditors are here. They will come back to your institution. More money will be received. Yeah. How much time do you need to spend? How many days do you need? I'm sure you can estimate. And that question, Chair, has to be answered, because I'm assuming this is a team. They've worked in the councils long enough. 2 weeks for the advert, 1 week for technical adjudication. There must be a procedure which is well defined on how to deal with it. So how many days? Is it 2 months? So that the auditors, when they come, they must know that the period we are looking at is 2 months, it's 3 months, so that the query doesn't reappear. Otherwise, the query will reappear. So we're trying to establish how many days do you think will be enough for spend the money?
Looking at the activities involved in the two sectors, that is archives and the cultural matters, I think we should be able to spend within 2 months. I think what was holding up the unspent funds is because we didn't have the personnel to guide in terms of requesting the same funds. After receiving guidance from our ministry, we've now appointed the focal point persons that should be coordinating the expenditure of these funds. So going forward, we should be able to exhaust these funds, Chair.
Do you now have an officer for the archives and the cultural office, the officer in charge of cultural activities?
Chair, administratively, we've just designated our existing officers within the council.
The establishment?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, you can deal with the question for revenue from Honorable Skazwe.
Yes, Chair, thank you very much.
Revenue has been covered, isn't it? Okay,
yes.
Maybe from Honorable Chala.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Yes, we've actually budgeted for the maintenance of the vehicle and the buildings in 2026 budget, because at that time we have a bus which is under commercial venture. At that time it was not on the road, but we've put it back on the road, and it's giving us a bit of money. So it's one area where we are banking on the expenditure that we are talking about, other than the commercial venture, that is the bar, and of course the guest house that we have, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Chala.
Councillor, I draw the question from your submission. You failed to do that because it was non-runner with a high cost of repair. High cost of repair. Now, are you telling this committee that now the cost has been reduced? That's the question I wanted to find out. And also the revenue, if you have expanded the sources of your money, where you are getting this money. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. The high costs of repairs that are being referred to, previously, the assessment will point to the fact that the injector pump is the one that is the after attending to such, then the vehicle was still a non-runner. But what management resolved is that we just need to set aside some funds so that probably we replace the engine with a new one, because what we came to conclude is that the vehicle itself had a knock engine. Thank you, Chair.
Expansion of what are you doing?
In terms of expanding our revenue base, of course, I talked about the
same bus.
The
is
bus
now on the road.
Yes, sir. And of course, is it Friday, Thursday last week we were signing the fabrication of the pontoon. We want to revive the crossing point, that is Asakanya border, through Luapura River, was that stretch is not active. And from Milenge to Ndola is actually 120 kilometers. So we've actually signed a contract with Ministry of Transport and Logistics. And the period of delivery of the pontoon is 20 weeks. So once that is done, then we hope to be raising something, of course, even in terms of foreign exchange. So that will also boost our revenue base. Thank you, Chair. Other than the traffic, the traffic of vehicles that will be passing through. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chala, Milenge is closer to Ndola than Mansa. Okay, so Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. Actually, it's just a ride on the same maintenance of properties on page 6. Yes, I just wanted to confirm if you have got a concrete maintenance policy, because when we hear of cracked ceiling boards and the rest, doesn't paint a good picture for an office. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Kangombe.
Chair, my last question, Appendix 18, page 4, failure to fill vacant positions. Page 5, delayed confirmation on probation. CS, I wanted to understand, and this committee wants to understand, was the delay on your part as a local authority to the commission to ask for these positions to be filled in? I think there are 6. And the same applies to the delay in confirming those that were on probation. Was it an internal problem, an internal delay? The letter didn't leave the council in good time, or it's the commission that delayed to respond to your letter? We want to establish where the problem was so that this audit query, again, Chair, does not reappear. That is why we are interacting. We are interacting. You as a local authority that was queried, next time you are coming to this committee, you will not have this query of positions not being filled and workers not. So I'm trying to establish where was the delay, on the institution or on the Service Commission. Chair,
CS.
Thank you very much, Chair. My understanding is that when we have a certain critical position that requires filling up, then we constantly engage the commission as our employers. Of course, the commission also, they are dealing with the entire country. For me, Chair, I would say that we did not engagement, because this matter would have been resolved, because we are just talking about confirmation. Yeah, because the 3 months period, had already elapsed. So automatically, it's just the normalization by way of signing a letter. So admitted, Chair, I think
that was an omission on your part as an institution.
Indeed, Chair, indeed.
Okay. Then the question from Honorable Chala, has it been answered? The follow-up question. Okay, if you are satisfied, it's okay. I don't want to. Your follow-up was on maintenance? A maintenance policy or maintenance committee within your local authority?
Your permission, Chair, I wish to invite Director Engineering.
Director Engineering.
To make a comment.
Thank you so much, Chair. We do have a maintenance policy in place. I think the challenge has been the maintenance policy to correspond to the available resources. That's where we've had the challenge to implement our policy, Chair. And then in terms of maintenance committee, we do have a maintenance committee which comprises various directors. I submit, Chair.
All right, thank you. Now, the question is, why is it that when auditors visit you, raise a red flag, even for the services that you had no money before engagement, you find money? Okay? Is it because you know that by the time you are coming to the committee, you need to resolve these issues? Because when you look at these queries that has brought you all the way from Milenge to Lusaka, these are some of the things you could with within the 14 period of engagement with the auditors. They are not serious undertakings. So the question is, why do you find it very easy to find money to resolve to it only when after auditors flag them off? Yes. Because some of the things you've done after the audit, you could have actually done it before.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, it's a question of trying to resolve the competing demands in terms of priorities. The truth of the matter is that in our auditors, whenever they are in our districts, they are able to assess and understand our cash flows. That is our liquidity challenges that we have. But when we are faced with such issues where matters are brought before your committee, we have no option, Chair. We have no option, apart from ensuring that we comply. Thank you, Chair.
All right. What is your annual revenue collection as a town council? What is your budget for this year, for example, from local revenues? CS.
Chair, allow me to invite
You have Director Finance,
yes.
Director, your projections.
Thank you, Chair. For 2026, our local revenue is standing at 962,000 kwacha. 962,000 kwacha.
How much did you collect last year?
For 2025, we collected about 68,000 locally.
That little. What are your business ventures in Milenge, other than the bus and the pontoon you are putting in place? What else do you do to mobilize resources in terms of business initiatives?
Thank you, Chair.
Director.
In terms of the ventures, currently we only have the council lodge, which is housing the bar and the restaurant, apart from the bus. I think basically in Milenge, we rely on the house rentals, because also house rentals, I mean house that are on rent. And that is basically our reliable source of income, because we don't have much economic activities happening there in Milenge.
From business houses?
We don't have that much economic activities, Chair.
Honorable Kangombe, though you committed yourself to but it's okay.
No, Chair, it's just compelling.
Okay, no problem.
Chair, I'm very curious. Do we have an integrated development plan for Milenge, which has got infrastructure component, local economic development component, are supposed to sit in one plan? So I'm interested in the local economic development, because that is where the business side is. So do we have an IDP, and what sits around that item, the item that the Chair has inquired? Because we want councils to become centers of excellence, and the only way they can do that if the IDP is in place and we're able to do activities in the IDP. Chair.
Honorable Chala, thank you, Honorable Chala. Your mic?
I was looking at the non-settlement of staff obligations, but I want to find out whether you have retired officers on the payroll, and if so, how are you treating them? Thank you.
Okay, you can answer the two questions in the next 3 minutes so that we wind up.
Thank you very much, Chair. First and foremost, yes, we have an IDP as a district, and of course it's in terms of how we should proceed in terms of our district. In terms of future expansion of our revenue base, there's one company shown interest to put up an hydro power station at Mumbotuta, yes, for us. So once that is actualized, of course, the council also stands to benefit in terms of property rates and, of course, personal levy and other economic activities that will accrue by way of, job creation. But in terms of with your permission, Chair,
maybe repeat. Retirees, yes.
Yes.
Do you have any on your payroll?
Yes, we have one. We have two. Okay. One is the former CS. The other one has
immediate former. Or
no. When did he retire? 2023. He retired in 2023.
2023.
Yes, and has been put on a payment plan. Honoring that one, we are honoring seriously so that you
take him off from your books.
Yes, from the payroll. Yes, sir.
All right, but how old are you in Milenge yourself, CS?
I went there in January.
This
2026,
year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much for your time and for your responses. Just want to bring few issues to your attention that your council needs to pay serious attention in terms of revenue collection. We've seen your revenue base and sources of income are very limited, but you've informed the committee that you are trying by all means to ensure that you expand your revenue base. So it is just strengthening the same revenue reinforcement mechanism. It's very critical if you have to provide the much needed social services to the community, and also to ensure rationalize assets maintenance and disposal frameworks, and also develop a time-bound debt liquidation strategy. And finally, you need to improve coordination with the Local Government Service Commission in terms of promotion of staff that and also to ensure all the vacancies are filled. The establishment is very small. It's 80, isn't it? So that is very small, which you can manage to ensure that it is done. And you must also reinforce internal controls and ensure prudent financial management to safeguard public resources. So those are few areas that you need to pay much attention. Maybe before I withdraw the immunity that we vested on you, if you have any closing remarks.
Thank you, Chair. I just wish to thank you for according us this opportunity to be counselled and, of course, guided. We can only promise that we improve in terms of the weaknesses that you have highlighted. Thank you, Chair.
All right. At this point, I would like to withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you, and they've come to the end. All the best as you travel back to Milenge. The meeting has come to an end. Thank you so very much.
Good afternoon, and thank you for still being with us on Parliament Television. Milenge Town Council has made its appearance before the Committee on Local Governance, Housing and Chiefs Affairs, and this is in which they were making a submission on the consideration of the audit of accounts of local authorities for the financial year ended 31st December 2024. And I would urge you to keep watching Parliament Television, the only station that brings Parliament closer to you.
In the afternoon. So
What's better than your bestie? A bestie with blockbusters and bedtime cartoons. GoTV streams your fave soaps, sports, and the loudest laughs. No extra charge, just internet connection. Your shows, your vibes, your anytime, anywhere bestie. GoTV Stream. Download it now.
Mwana mai who died imwe